2 weeks ago, my wife and I made the crazy decision to sell our fully loaded 2022 Subaru Ascent and buy this. A Tesla. This is our 2023 Model Y long-range Tesla, aptly named GWatts, short for gigawatts. We went with the midnight silver paint because that's the base model. We actually liked the color and we thought that it would hide dirt better than it did. Living in the country has its downsides. We went with the 19-inch Gemini wheels to prioritize range and ride comfort over style. Now, if you're like us and you live in the country, a major concern that you're always worried about is ground clearance. Can you clear that log that's in the road, or maybe that napping groundhog? How about a quarter-mile long gravel driveway with some seriously deep ruts? Now, as you can see, the car does get dirty. Pretty decent ground clearance, not as good as the Subaru, but we found that we haven't had any issues out here. Now, that car was washed just this past weekend and it's only Monday, so that's 2 days of dirt driving up and down our driveway. Now, because this Model Y was manufactured in 2023, it's a Tesla Vision car, no longer sporting the radar sensors that earlier Model Ys had in their bumpers. The Tesla Vision relies on a series of cameras that are placed around the car, which is pretty helpful, especially when you're making turns, backing up, things like that, or using the autopilot, which I will show you in a later video how it actually behaves on these backcountry roads. Now, I'm 6 foot tall and about 180 pounds, so I'm going to show you exactly how much room you have back here in this Tesla. The cargo space is pretty generous. Now, it's not the same as our 2022 Subaru Ascent, but it can comfortably handle our 2 dogs for a nice little day trip. Now, when we purchased this vehicle, we knew, because we live in the country, that we go out a lot with our dogs, and we wanted to make sure that the interior was going to be protected. So we purchased this cover kit, which goes over the back of the seat headrests and over the main trunk area, as well as these really awesome deep wheel wells here. Now, in terms of storage, you've got the sub trunk right here, which has got plenty of space if you were going to, say, go on a trip and you needed to put your bags or something like that down here. Right now, we've got the license plate holder. Now, another cool feature are these 2 electric buttons here, which will actually drop both seats just like that. Super handy if you have 2 large fluffy dogs like we do, because it gives them plenty of space to actually crawl in here and turn around. So the back of the Model Y actually has pretty decent sized space. I'm 6 foot and I've got plenty of leg room, knee room, and head room, which is a big issue in a lot of these mid-size crossovers. They've also got a nice armrest / dual cup holder. We've got a couple of USB-C ports back here and of course some adjustable vents for your passengers. Now, Tesla used a premium vinyl material for their seats, and we decided to go with black because dogs are messy, and the white we just thought wouldn't hold up to their little muddy paws. Now, the front of the car is where all the action happens, okay? You've got the gas juice pedal is what I'm going to call it, because there's no fuel really, it's just electricity. Obviously the brake pedal, no emergency brake, okay people, it's all electric. All of your controls, navigation, music, everything is all directed through this 15-inch touchscreen panel in the center of the car. There are a few controls next to the steering wheel. You've got obviously the gear selector, as well as the windshield wiper and turn signal indicator over here on the left. Below the main touchscreen, you've got 2 spots for wireless cell phone charging, and then a series of cup holders and little cubby holes. In the front cubby hole, you've got 2 USB-C charging ports and a ton of space for all of your stuff. Under the main cubby hole here, you've got a 12-volt car adapter here that you can plug into, and again, plenty of space. They got a little LED light in here to help you find those, I don't know, your loose change or whatever. Another awesome feature about this Model Y is this seamless glass roof. I mean, you can see everything. Passengers especially, it's a little hard when you're driving unless you're in super chill mode and you lay back like this. That's how I drive all the time. Now, one of the unique aspects about where we live is that there's a ton of elevation change, and I'm interested to see how that's going to impact Tesla's estimated range and state of charge. Most of the people that we know that own a Tesla live in the city, so we weren't really sure how owning an EV in the country was going to work out. What happens if we run out of juice on these backcountry roads? I mean, the nearest supercharger is an hour and a half away from our home. Well, don't worry about that, because on this channel, we're going to answer all of those questions and show you what it's like to live out here in the sticks with a Tesla.